My girlfriend dumped me on my birthday on Facebook and now refuses to move out of my apartment. Hey Reddit, so I'm Ethan, 29, and I'm pretty sure I'm living in a nightmare. My family has always low-key favored my sister, Chloe, the aspiring actress who's always broke. I'm the responsible one, so I just deal with it. But now, this whole situation with my girlfriend Ava is next level. She's been acting weird and I had a gut feeling something was off. Then bam, birthday surprise, public humiliation. Turns out she's been seeing some dude named Ryan. And she still wants to live with me. She says she doesn't want to throw everything away, aka our cheap rent. Am I crazy or is this insane? You guys are not going to believe what happened next. Okay, so it was my birthday. 20 freaking 9. I wasn't expecting anything huge, just a quiet dinner with Ava, maybe a movie. I get home from work, feeling pretty good, and I check Facebook. First thing I see, a picture of Ava, beaming, with some dude I've never seen before. My stomach drops. Caption: Happiest birthday to my Ryan. So glad I finally found someone who appreciates spontaneous adventures and deep conversations. Some people are just content with Netflix and chill, am I right? Soin love best birthday ever my love. Netflix and chill. Are you kidding me? That was our thing. And the winky face, the hashtag #MyLove, I felt like I was going to puke. I scrolled through the comments and there she is, responding to people congratulating them. Her relationship status, it's complicated. It's complicated. On my birthday, my hands started shaking. My chest felt tight like I couldn't breathe. I literally had to sit down. I felt so stupid. Like I was living in some alternate reality where everything was fine while she was off building this whole other life. The public nature of it all, it was like a punch to the gut. Everyone we knew was seeing this. My family was seeing this. I just sat there, staring at the screen, feeling this wave of nausea wash over me. This wasn't just a breakup, this was a public execution. On my birthday, so Ava finally waltzes in, all smiles and sunshine like nothing happened, like she hadn't just publicly eviscerated me on social media. I was still shaking with anger and humiliation, but I tried to stay calm. I asked her, Ava, what the hell is going on? What is this Facebook post? She just shrugged. Oh, that, Ryan and I are exploring things. Exploring things. I pointed at my phone, showing her the post. Exploring things, it looks like you're celebrating his birthday and throwing shade at me in the process. And then she drops the bomb. Look, Ethan, I'm with Ryan now, but I really don't want to move out. The rent here is amazing and I don't want to throw everything away. Throw everything away? She was the one who threw everything away. My birthday, our relationship, and my sanity, I saw red. You're breaking up with me, publicly humiliating me, and you expect to still live here? Are you serious? She just smirked. I know my tenant rights, Ethan, you can't just kick me out. The audacity of this woman, the sheer, unadulterated gall. My head was pounding. I felt this rage building inside me like a pressure cooker about to explode. I called my mom, hoping for some support, some understanding. Big mistake. Ethan, she sighed, like I was the one causing the problem. Ava's a sweet girl, I'm sure she didn't mean to hurt you. Maybe you should just talk it out. Talk it out? She just announced her new relationship to the world on my birthday. Mom, she's cheating on me and refusing to move out of my apartment. How can you defend her? Well, honey, she said, her voice dripping with condescension, maybe if you weren't so focused on work and paid more attention to her. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. This was my birthday. I was the one who got dumped, publicly, and my own mother was blaming me. Then Chloe chimes in the background. Yeah, Ethan, Ava's been saying you've been distant lately. Maybe you should have seen this coming. Distant. I was working my ass off to pay the rent she was now refusing to leave. I felt this tightness in my chest like I couldn't breathe. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely hold the phone. That's when it hit me. This wasn't normal. This wasn't just a family disagreement. This was a full-blown toxic dynamic. They were gaslighting me, minimizing my pain, making me feel like I was the crazy one. You know what? I said, my voice shaking with anger. I'm done with this conversation, I'm done with this family. And I hung up, I just hung up. I sat there on the edge of my bed, staring at the wall, feeling completely numb. This wasn't how my birthday was supposed to go. This wasn't how my life was supposed to be. I needed to get out. I needed to escape. But how the hell was I going to get Ava out of my apartment? A few days later, this whole situation is a dumpster fire. Ava is still here, parading around like she owns the place. She's constantly on the phone with Ryan, giggling and whispering, making sure I can hear every sickeningly sweet nothing. The tension in the apartment is thick. I can barely sleep. I'm constantly on edge, waiting for the next explosion. And my family, don't even get me started. This morning, I got a call from my Aunt Susan, my mom's sister. Aunt Susan, who I haven't spoken to in over a year, suddenly decided to insert herself into this drama. Ethan, honey, she started, her voice dripping with fake concern, your mother is very worried about you. She says you've been acting erratically. Erratically? I'm the one WHOSE girlfriend DUMPEDHIM on Facebook and is refusing to move out. Aunt Susan, I said, trying to keep my voice level, I'm dealing with a difficult situation. I don't need you to add to it. But honey, she continued, completely ignoring me, Ava is such a sweet girl. Are you sure you haven't been too hard on her? Your mother says she's very sensitive. Sensitive? SH's a master manipulator. I felt my blood pressure rising. Aunt Susan, with all due respect, this is between Ava and me. Please stay out of it. Now Ethan, she said, her voice taking on a sharper edge, family is important. You need to apologize to Ava and your mother. This isn't how we do things in this family. Are you kidding me? Apologize? For what? For being publicly humiliated? For having the audacity to ask my cheating ex to move out of my apartment? I hung up. I just couldn't take it anymore. The gaslighting, the victim blaming, the sheer audacity of it all. It's like they're all in cahoots trying to drive me insane. My work is suffering, I can't focus. I'm snapping at my colleagues. Jake, bless his heart, is trying to be supportive, but even he's starting to look at me with a mixture of pity and concern. He offered me his spare room again last night. Dude, just come stay with me. Get out of that toxic environment. I'm seriously considering it. I feel like I'm drowning, like I'm trapped in this nightmare and there's no way out. But I know I can't give up. I have to fight back. I have to take control of my life again. I'm starting to document everything. Screenshots of Ava's posts, text messages, emails. I'm even keeping a log of every interaction I have with my family. I'm talking to a lawyer tomorrow. This has gone too far. They want a war. They're going to get one, so I finally broke down and told Jake everything. At first, I was hesitant. It all sounded so crazy, even to me. Like who gets dumped on Facebook on their birthday and then has their ex refuse to move out. It felt like something out of a bad sitcom. Dude, I started, fiddling with my coffee cup. I don't know what to do. Ava's still here and she's making my life hell. Jake raised an eyebrow. Still. What's the latest? I took a deep breath and spilled the beans. The Facebook post, the exploring things excuse, the rent argument, my family's reaction, everything. I even showed him the screenshots of Ava's posts and the texts from my mom and Aunt Susan. As I talked, Jake's expression changed from amusement to disbelief to outright shock. His jaw literally dropped. Whoa, 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 he interrupted. Hold up. Your family is blaming you. For this, I nodded miserably. Yeah, man, it's like they're all on her side. They think I'm overreacting, that I should just apologize and move on. Jake slammed his hand on the table. Apologize? For what? For being a decent human being? Ethan, they are gaslighting you. This is textbook manipulation. They're trying to make you doubt your own sanity. His words hit me like a ton of bricks. Gaslighting, manipulation. I had heard those words before, but I never thought they applied to MY life, to MY family. They keep saying I should have seen this coming, I mumbled, that I was too distant. Distant? Jake practically yelled. You're working your ass off to pay the rent SH's refusing to pay, they're twisting everything to make you the bad guy. This is not your fault. Hearing him say that, hearing someone finally validate my feelings, it was like a dam broke inside me. I felt this wave of relief wash over me, followed by a surge of anger. I had been so caught up in the drama, so focused on trying to reason with Ava and my family, that I hadn't realized how messed up the whole situation was. You know what? Jake said, his voice softening. Screw them. Screw Ava. Screw your family. You deserve better than this. You need to get out of that apartment. Come stay with me. Seriously, I have a spare room and you need a break from this toxicity. His offer, his unwavering support, it was the final push I needed. I finally saw the situation clearly for what it truly was. I wasn't crazy. I wasn't overreacting. I was being manipulated and abused, and I wasn't going to take it anymore. You're right, I said, feeling a newfound sense of resolve. I'm out, I'm done. That conversation with Jake was a turning point. It was the moment I realized I wasn't alone, that I wasn't the crazy one, and that I deserved better. Much better. I'm going to Jake's tonight. I'm getting out of this nightmare one step at a time. Okay, so I'm at Jake's, crashing on his couch, trying to piece my life back together. I finally feel like I can breathe again, like I'm not constantly walking on eggshells. But the drama, of course, isn't over. It just escalated to a whole new level of insane. Last night, around midnight, I get a call from my landlord. Ethan, she says, her voice tight with annoyance, there are some people here causing a disturbance. They say they live in your apartment. My blood ran cold. Ava, it had to be Ava. I'll be right there, I said, grabbing my keys. Jake insisted on coming with me, which I was incredibly grateful for. I didn't know what I was walking into, but I had a bad feeling. We get to the apartment and it's chaos. Ava, Ryan, and two of their friends are banging on the door, screaming my name. Ava's voice cuts through the night, shrill and full of rage. ETHAN, open this door, you can't keep me out of my apartment. My apartment. The audacity of this woman was astounding. Ryan is standing next to her, looking smug and entitled, like he owns the place. Their friends are egging them on, yelling obscenities and pounding on the door. The whole scene is straight out of a nightmare. My landlord is standing there, looking horrified. I told them you're the leaseholder, she says, but they won't listen. I stepped forward, my heart pounding in my chest. Ava, I said, my voice shaking with anger, you don't live here anymore. You broke up with me, remember? She just laughed, a harsh, bitter sound. Oh, please, Ethan, you think you can just kick me out? I know my rights. You have no rights, I shot back. This is my apartment. My name is on the lease, you need to leave. Ryan stepped forward, getting in my face. Listen, buddy, he snarled, you better let Ava in or you'll regret it. That's when something snapped inside me. I had been pushed too far. The Facebook post, the gaslighting, my family's betrayal, and now this public spectacle of humiliation. It was too much. I was done being the victim. A wave of anger, raw and powerful, surged through me. My hands clenched into fists. I felt this primal urge to fight, to defend myself, to protect my space. But I took a deep breath, forcing myself to stay calm. I wasn't going to stoop to their level. I'm not opening this door, I said, my voice cold and steady. You need to leave, now. Ava started screaming again, a string of curses and insults that made my blood boil. Ryan continued to make veiled threats, his eyes filled with malice. But I stood my ground. I wasn't going to back down, not this time. The landlord, bless her heart, called the police. When they arrived, I calmly explained the situation, showed them my lease, and pointed out that Ava and her entourage were trespassing. The police escorted them off the property, much to Ava's outrage and Ryan's impotent fury. As they were leaving, Ava turned to me, her face contorted with rage. You haven't seen the last of me, Ethan. She shrieked, you'll pay for this. I just stared at her, feeling a strange sense of calm amidst the chaos. I'm not afraid of you, Ava, I said quietly. You have no power over me anymore. And in that moment, I knew I was finally free. All right, Reddit, buckle up, because this is where things get interesting. After that insane midnight showdown with Ava, Ryan, and their posse, I knew I couldn't just sit around and wait for the next wave of crazy. I needed a plan. A full-on, DEFCON 1, scorched earth plan. First things first, I called my landlord first thing in the morning. Explained the whole situation, the screaming, the threats, the police involvement. Bless her heart, she was completely on my side. She agreed to change the locks immediately. Checkmate, Ava, you're not getting back in. Next, documentation. I'd already started compiling evidence, but now it was time to go full CSI. I printed out every single Facebook post, every text message, every email. I even had screenshots of Ava's, its complicated relationship status updates. I organized everything chronologically, creating a timeline of her betrayal and manipulation. I felt like a goddamn lawyer prepping for a trial, and honestly it was kind of empowering. Then I reached out to a friend from college, Sarah, who's now a lawyer. She listened to the whole saga, her jaw practically on the floor. Ethan, she said, this is insane. You need to protect yourself, keep documenting everything, and do not engage with Ava or her cronies. Professional validation? Yes, please. Knowing I had legal backup gave me a huge boost of confidence, but I wasn't just focusing on the legal stuff. I needed to control the narrative. Ava had already tried to paint me as the bad guy on social media, so I knew I had to get ahead of her lies. I drafted a message to our mutual friends, laying out the facts, no embellishment, just the cold, hard truth. Hey everyone, just wanted to clarify the situation with Ava. We broke up. She's seeing someone else. She refused to move out of my apartment, which led to a police incident last night. I'm not going to go into details, but I wanted to set the record straight. Boom, truth bomb dropped, take that Ava. And finally, the mental and emotional prep. This was the hardest part. I was still hurt, angry, and frankly, terrified of what Ava might do next. So I leaned on Jake. He was my rock, my voice of reason. We talked for hours, dissecting the situation, analyzing Ava's behavior, and strategizing my next moves. He reminded me of my worth, of my strength, of the fact that I deserved better. I also started meditating. I know it sounds cheesy, but it actually helped. It helped me center myself, calm my anxiety, and focus on the task at hand, getting my life back. So yeah, Reddit, that was my plan. A mix of legal strategy, social media savvy, and good old-fashioned emotional support. I was ready for whatever Ava threw at me. I was done being the victim. I was taking control, and I wasn't backing down. Game on. The air in the apartment was thick with tension. Jake stood beside me, a silent, supportive presence. The landlord hovered nervously nearby. Across from us stood Ava and Ryan, radiating smug entitlement. Two large duffel bags sat at their feet. This was it, the final showdown. So, Ava started, her voice dripping with sarcasm, ready to give me back my stuff. I held up a copy of the lease, my name clearly printed at the top. This is my apartment, Ava. You surrendered any claim to it when you decided to move on. Very publicly. I pointedly glanced at my phone, where a screenshot of her infamous birthday post was displayed. Ryan stepped forward, his posture aggressive. Look, man, just give her the stuff and let's get out of here. No, I said calmly, meeting his gaze. She can take what rightfully belongs to her, but anything we bought together or anything that's mine stays. Ava's eyes narrowed. You think you can just keep my things? I'll sue you. Be my guest, I replied, holding up my phone again. I have documentation of everything. The Facebook posts, the texts, the police report from the other night. I even consulted a lawyer. I saw a flicker of doubt in her eyes. Good. She started rummaging through the bags, pulling out clothes and toiletries, tossing them haphazardly into a smaller bag. As she reached for my PlayStation, I stopped her. That's mine, Ava. We bought that together, she shrieked. Actually, I said, pulling out a receipt from my folder, I bought it with my own money, 3 months before we even met. Funny how you forgot that. The blood drained from her face. Ryan, sensing the shift in power, muttered something about crazy exes and started loading the remaining bag. This was the turning point. The moment they realized they'd lost. Ava grabbed a framed photo of us from the shelf, her hand trembling. This is mine, she yelled, her voice cracking. Fine, I said, my voice flat. Take it, it's a reminder of a lie anyway. That hit her harder than any legal threat. Her eyes welled up with tears, but this time I felt no sympathy. Only a sense of grim satisfaction. They finally left, their retreat hasty and unceremonious. The landlord let out a sigh of relief. Jake clapped me on the shoulder. Dude, he said, grinning, you absolutely destroyed them. I didn't feel like celebrating, not yet, but I did feel a sense of closure, a sense of peace. I had faced my demons and won. I had taken back my life. And I knew with absolute certainty that I would never let anyone treat me like that again. This wasn't just about an apartment or a breakup. This was about self-respect. About finally learning to stand up for myself. And that Reddit was worth more than all the cheap rent in the world. It's been a few months since the great Ava exodus, and things are different. Good different mostly. Immediately after the final confrontation, it was weird. Like this huge weight had been lifted, but I still felt this lingering anxiety, like waiting for the other shoe to drop. I kept expecting Ava to show up, to try some other crazy stunt. But she didn't. She vanished, poof, gone. The silence in the apartment was deafening at first. Then it became peaceful. I deep cleaned the entire place, scrubbing away every trace of Ava and Ryan's toxic presence. I felt like I was cleansing my life, one Lysol wipe at a time. The landlord was amazing. She even gave me a slight discount on the next month's rent as a thank you for dealing with the drama. Small victories, people. As for my family, well, that's a more complicated story. My mom and Chloe tried to reach out a few times, but I wasn't ready. Their initial reaction to the whole situation had cut me deep. I needed time, space, to heal. Aunt Susan, thankfully, got the hint and disappeared back into the woodwork. Jake, on the other hand, was a lifesaver. He stayed with me for a few weeks, making sure I wasn't alone, talking me through the rough patches. He even helped me find a new apartment, a smaller place, but all mine. No more roommates. No more shared spaces. Just me and my new cat, a fluffy ginger tabby I named Leo. He's my furry little therapy buddy. I've been in therapy too, which has been huge. Talking to a professional about the gaslighting, the manipulation, the whole toxic dynamic with Ava and my family, it's been incredibly helpful. I'm starting to realize how much I was enabling their behavior, how I was so focused on keeping the peace that I neglected my own needs. Never again. My work is getting back on track. I'm sleeping better. I'm reconnecting with old friends, rediscovering hobbies I'd forgotten about. I even started taking salsa lessons, something I've always wanted to do. It's like I'm finally living my life for me. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, of course. I still have moments of doubt, of anger, of sadness. The scars from that experience are still there. But I'm learning to live with them. I'm learning to forgive myself for the mistakes I made, for the red flags I ignored. I'm learning to trust my gut, to set boundaries, and to walk away from toxic people, even if they're family. This whole experience has been a brutal but necessary lesson. It's taught me the importance of self-respect, of knowing my worth, and of not being afraid to speak up for myself. It's also taught me the true meaning of friendship. Jake, you're a real one. Thanks for having my back. So, Reddit, that's my update. It's been a wild ride, but I'm finally starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Has anyone else gone through something similar? How did you deal with the fallout? Any advice for navigating the post-toxic relationship landscape? Let me know in the comments.